Yo, what is up? Welcome back. Thank you so much for making it this far. I want to share with you some products that I absolutely love. They have stood the test of time with me. I would without a doubt give each of these products a 5-star review, out of 5 stars of course. Not only that, I would recommend these products to your super trusting grandmother. More importantly, I want to hear about the products that you absolutely love. So if you can, do me that favor and let me know in the comments below. So when it comes to mountain bike products, and you're a new rider and you're working on skills and progression, it's fun to research stuff. It's fun to buy things that you think are going to make you a better biker. In reality, that's rarely ever the case. There's nothing that you can buy that will make you a better biker. Well, there's only one thing that I bought that added confidence to my riding, and I'll get to that in a minute. But with that being the case, I encourage you to spend less time shopping online and more time on your bike learning skills, because the more you ride, the more you'll realize what you like. And when you have a good understanding of what you like and what works for you, it's gonna save you a ton of money in the long run when you're upgrading parts and you're buying new products. Let's get to it. First and foremost, I am flat pedals for life. I don't care what I'm riding, where I'm riding, whether it's tech in the bike park or super aggressive enduro stuff. I'm flat pedals. I just love the way flat pedals feel. I've ridden them for many, many years now, and I don't feel like I need clipless. I don't feel like I need to clip in. I don't care about power in my upstroke unless I'm in a street fight. With that being the case, I've tried all different kinds of flat pedal shoes. And for the past several years, I've whittled it down and have found no reason to switch from my ride concepts. These are the live wire shoes. I absolutely love them. They hold up super well. Not only that, they lock my feet into the pedals super well. Now I have recently tried some other newer flat pedal shoes that have come out, and they don't give me the confidence and support that these have given me. They are not ridiculously expensive and they will last you a long time. So this exact pair right here, I have ridden 3-4 times a week on average for just under a year. No breakdown, no holes forming in the top. And most importantly, check out how the soles are holding up. For that reason, I can't recommend these highly enough. All right, let's move up the body. So about 2 years ago, I had a super minor crash where I slid out and put my knee down on the ground, bashed my shin on a rock. Felt like a typical bash. If you were to look at my shins, they are a roadmap of every pedal that I've ever owned, every bad decision I've ever made. They are like a single-page diary entry of all the wrong in life. The scars tell a story that I'm somewhat proud of. With that being the case, 2 years ago, I had a very minor crash where I slid out and put my knee down and bashed my shin on a rock. Felt like the typical impact. I did my little circle dance, patted my shin, and spewed out a bunch of cuss words. Finished my ride. It wasn't until I pulled down my sock that a giant chunk of skin fell with my sock. It wasn't just a cut. It was a massive gash. We're talking 4 inches long, about 1 inch wide. To my surprise, I saw parts of my body that I never wanted to see. Many stitches later and an infection right out of the hospital. I was off the bike for 3-4 weeks. For that reason, I will never ride without shin pads. It is such an easy thing to add on. And these pads in particular, I want to recommend. These are the TSG Shin Pads, all right? So they're not the latest shin pads in the world, but they are super durable. They have an optional plastic insert. I ride with the plastic inserts in, but here is the cool thing. So when I put these on, I always ride in long pants, but I forget they're even on me when I ride. So no matter what type of riding I'm doing, enduro, cross country, bike park stuff, I always get a little rowdy. And when I get rowdy, I want to make sure that I'm covering up my shins. And therefore, I can't recommend these TSG shin pads enough. Moving up to the knees. Now you guys that ride without knee pads are just playing luck's game, because at some point you will crash and you will bash your knee and it's gonna end your ride and you will wish you had knee pads on. Knee pads are such an easy thing to ride with when you get used to them. These are the Fox Launch D30 knee pads. Now I've been riding this pair for 3 years now, almost 4 years, and they've held up super well. There's no major breaking down of the material. I forget they're on when I ride with them. They don't slide down my leg like a lot of pads do. If I had one complaint about these, is that they are a little bulky when you're standing up, okay? They'll protrude off your knee a little bit. That's likely why they're so comfortable to ride in. The other thing is, if you do go down on your knee, you might get a little brush burn on your kneecap, because there is some room between your kneecap and the knee, but it's super minor compared to what could happen without pads. And I think, again, that's just room to breathe, which makes them super pedal friendly. So while they're super bike park tough, they're also super friendly for long days in the saddle where you're doing a lot of enduro type pedaling. For that reason, I gotta recommend the Fox Launch D30 knee pads. Moving up the body even further yet. So when I ride bike parks or I'm in a position where I could get bucked on my back in a pile of daggers, I make sure that I wear some type of chest protection. And for the past few years, I've been riding the Leatte Airflex chest protector. Why? Because it's super comfortable, it's relatively light. I can wear this on the outside of clothing or undershirts on my bare skin, and it doesn't really rub me raw or cause any discomfort. What I like about it is it has full back coverage. A lot of chest protectors will stop mid-back or just below your shoulder blades, but I know when I get bucked on daggers that there's always something ready to poke me above my tailbone. Not only is it comfortable and protective, it looks super cool. I wouldn't hesitate to wear this in a rap video. And for that reason, I gotta recommend the Leatte Airflex chest protector. Let's talk helmets. All right, helmets. For the half shell, I ride the Alpinestars Vector Tech Solid helmet. So they've updated it this past year, and from what I can tell, the updates are looks and aesthetics. Okay, so the previous helmet had some like designs and some decals that I thought were a little silly because they were meaningless and they were just trying to look cool. I'm all about riding to look cool, not wearing stuff to look cool. But with that being the case, this looks super awesome on your head. It's not gonna make your head look super bulky like you're wearing some ridiculous thing on your skull. In addition, it's got MTB, so it's super protective. And of all the helmets I've ever ridden in, this one is the most comfortable for my noggin. I understand everybody's head is different, but this is super comfortable all day. I forget I'm wearing it. Doesn't cause any pinch points, no pain points. It may not be the most breathable helmet in town, but it does offer some good airflow. All in all, it's been an absolute great helmet. I don't foresee changing helmets anytime soon, unless I crash it out, and I'll likely just replace it with the exact same helmet. So check it out, this is the Alpinestars Vector Tech Solid helmet. When it comes to full face helmets, so I've ridden a bunch of different full face helmets and they all squeak. Drives me absolutely insane. It's super distracting. I can't focus on my riding when they squeak. Finally, I found a helmet that doesn't squeak on my head. The only thing that squeaks are my bones, but the helmet itself will not make a noise. Okay, this is the Bluegrass Vanguard Core Edition. So this helmet isn't the most breathable helmet on the market, but it is super protective. It is super comfortable. I wear it anytime I ride an enduro and bike park. The chin bar is kind of beefy compared to other helmets, but to me it just makes me feel more protected. It's not the heaviest helmet on the market, it's not the lightest, it's in the middle, but it looks good, it feels good, and I can do long climbs in it and not complain. So I encourage you to check out the Bluegrass Vanguard Core helmet. For the longest time, I was on a search for goggles that did not fog up. Every pair of goggles I've ever worn will fog up at some point, especially when I'm wearing a full face helmet. I reached out for help on Instagram. A lot of folks recommended to me the Smith Squad XL goggle. It's not flashy, doesn't have a lot of cool features, but what it does do is it does not fog up. A goggle that fogs up will be loose around my neck or on the back of my helmet in no time. I've ridden this for many hours on end. Super hot days are 100 degrees. Super cold days, we're talking 18-degree weather where I'm still sweating and it just doesn't fog up. There's tons of ventilation on this goggle. It does what I need it to do. It protects the eyeballs. You can switch out the lens on this. It's a little bit of a headache, but I generally always ride with a clear lens. The goggle itself is relatively inexpensive compared to other goggles on the market, and for that reason, I recommend the Smith Squad XL goggle. So I am the type of person that can ride any rim because I can't tell the difference between any rim, right? So whether it's aluminum or carbon, on the stuff that I ride, there's so many other variables that I can't get a good feel of the benefits of either. However, a little over a year ago, I picked up the We R1 carbon rims, and they have been absolutely monsters on the trail. What I appreciate most about them is not their lightness. It's not the fact that they are carbon, it's the fact that these things are absolute tanks in the rocks. Doesn't matter if I pick the worst line and hit the squarest edge rock with the most power possible, these things take it like a champ and keep me rolling. Yeah, there have been times where I'm riding super rocky stuff and I had taken the worst line with the worst momentum and caused the worst noise ever on the trail. The rims absolutely screamed out. These things are as pristine as they were on day one. In addition, I've been riding them hard for a little over a year now, and they have stayed true the whole time. I haven't had to worry about spoke tension one bit. The only issue that I've had with these rims was on the second ride. The factory rim tape wandered a little bit, which caused a slow leak. I tracked down the issue, put new rim tape on it. Hasn't been an issue since. If you are hard charging rocks, I can't recommend the We Are One Union rims enough. Yeah, so not necessarily mountain bike related, but if you're a mountain biker, you definitely want to have some of this on hand. What is this, you ask? These are Velcro cable ties. These things are tremendously useful. I use them for absolutely everything, from mounting stuff to my bike, to mounting stuff to my body, to mounting things together in my car, you name it. Unlike a plastic zip tie, which is one use, you cut it and you're done, and then you're polluting the environment with more plastic, these things can be reused indefinitely. But even though they're Velcro, they are super strong too. I've never had an issue with them. I've driven to the beach where I've used Velcro ties to hold things to the roof of my car. You work the engineering enough on these bad boys, and you could climb these like you could Rapunzel's hair. So if you don't have some of these Velcro ties, get yourself some. When you have them on hand, I guarantee you'll realize all the things that you can use them for. Remember how I said earlier in the video, there was one thing that I bought that instantly added confidence to my riding, and that was WTB tires, specifically the Trail Boss in the back and the Vigilante up front. Now, I've ridden a whole slew of different types of tires because I feel like tires are one of the most important things on your bike. So I was on an endless journey for the perfect tire, and I still don't know that I found it because there's still more tires to try. However, several years ago, I tried these WTB tires, and when I put them on, instantly they added confidence to my riding. I don't know what it was about them. I don't know if it's my riding style or the terrain that I ride in. Whatever is the case, I put these on and I have not switched them since. I love these tires so much. Now, I will say this, they are not the lightest tire on the market, and they're probably not the fastest rolling tire on the market, but I don't care because they're a great tire and they do what I need them to do. They're super durable. You'll get a ton of miles out of them before they start wearing down. These tires are super tough in the rocks. They're just a great general all-around tire. They are super affordable compared to a lot of other tires on the market. So if you're on the hunt for tires, I encourage you to check out these WTB tires. Yo, all right, so when I left the set of that high-end production, I recognized I forgot one very important product that I've been wearing for a super long time, and they've stood the test of time, and that is Handup Gloves. Couldn't get my makeup artist here in time, so this product shout out will be all POV. So these gloves fit my hands super duper well. I wear them all the time when I ride. I can't imagine riding without gloves because when I crash, I put my hands down first and then I roll. These save my palms from damage and discomfort on future rides. They're super durable. They hold up very well. Whether you wash them or you go weeks without washing them, I find that the palms will not bunch up on my grips. And also, they don't have that crazy loose space at the end of your pinky like so many gloves have. So I don't need that space. I need my fingertips to end where my fingers end, and these do. I also volunteer at a horse rescue where I clean stalls and move hay bales and stuff, and I wear an old pair of Handup gloves for all that work. And I've been wearing these there for, gosh, 4 or 5 months, and they haven't broken a seam. They hold up to farm work pretty darn well, surprisingly. So for that reason, I give Handup Gloves 5 stars, and I cannot recommend them enough. If I didn't absolutely annoy you or offend you with the products that I like, consider liking and subscribing to my channel. I do my best to offer valuable content. All right, so that is that. Thank you so much for spending some time with me while I shared the products that I love. Again, I want to hear about the products that you love, so leave them in the comments below. Thanks so much. Peace.